Calling all stations. Clear the air lanes. Clear all air lanes for the big broadcast.
He disappeared over 65 million years ago. Now he's back. From the Bedrock Studios at WJOB in Hammond, it's T-Rex Live.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, all the truth, and nothing but the truth? Huh? Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, all the truth, and nothing but the truth?
Are you trying to give me the double talk?
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, all the truth, and nothing but the truth?
Why don't you answer him?
He's talking pig Latin. I don't know what he's saying.
He's asking you if you swear.
No, but I know all the words.
How about face?
I won't do it. He don't pay my salary. It's a guy with a beard. I'll get up.
Get into this a little bit. Now, I got this off of the Times. Real brief little article here. Nothing too in-depth, but I'll lay it out, the highlights of it, and then we'll talk. School City of Hammond could lay off as many as 60 teachers. That is Hammond Superintendent Walter Watkins and Hammond Teachers Union President Patrick O'Rourke said Friday that the district is looking at a $5.8 million deficit for 2012-2013 school year as a result of the school funding formula and declining enrollment. School board is scheduled to meet Tuesday. Reduction in force letters are expected to be mailed to teachers Wednesday, but the exact number is still not known. Watkins said the numbers are being revised daily. We're trying to make these cuts as far away from the classroom as possible. We came up with some preliminary numbers. Nothing is definite yet. We won't know anything for sure until Tuesday, he said. O'Rourke said the declining enrollment is because of charter schools and vouchers. He said the district lost about 119 students to the voucher program alone. Now, for those who are not familiar with vouchers, here's what it is. A voucher, or a choice scholarship, is a state payment that qualifying families can use to offset tuition costs at participating private schools. Students qualify based on a total household income, and the amount of the scholarship corresponds with the public corporation in which the students live. O'Rourke said if Hammond's per pupil cost is about $8,000 per student, multiply that by 119 students, the district has lost thousands of dollars as a result of the program. We have to bring our expenditures and income into compliance, particularly in the general fund. The school system itself has somewhat of a black eye. Now, we can probe this and go, well, is it the curriculum? Is it the teaching? And there's, my guess would be there's a ton of different variables here that you're working with. Maybe it's the curriculum. Maybe it's the students. Could be the teaching. But we'll dive into that in a second. Because to me, if it's, let's play devil's advocate here for a second and think. Now, if in fact the student meets the qualifications for the voucher program, they have the right to go where they want. Essentially, to a private school that participates in the program. Okay. Why would a person do that? Well, because of what we just talked about. The condition of the schools up here in Northwest Indiana have been under tough love, if you will, tough areas, if you will, I guess is the only way to say it. So because of that, I can understand a parent's hesitation or a parent's prerogative to consider sending their student elsewhere for a quality education. Now, T-Rex, is that a crime? Is it wrong for a parent to want to better their children, give them a quality education? Is that so wrong, T-Rex? No, it's not. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. You want to give your kid the opportunity to really excel and to make something of themselves? I salute you. I pat you on the back. But at the same time, this is a double entendre. It's a double-edged sword, folks. It really is. Because at the same time as you're bettering your child's education, you've got individuals who are coming fresh out of college, who have been majoring in education, who are looking for jobs in their field, in this area. Could they have gone to the East Coast, West Coast, or whatever to be a teacher? Yeah, but guess what? They want to stay here in the region. They want to support a region school. They want to be a teacher in the region. And what happens? I guarantee you these supposed 60 plus that they're considering laying off, these are not people who've been at, they're not people who, this is their first dance. This is their first rodeo. I assure you, you guys know that as well as I do. No, definitely not. The people who are going to be getting the pink slip are going to be the fresh, right out of the gate cats, man. It's going to be those fresh out of the gate, right out of college, right into the teaching atmosphere.
Shoot.
Bam.
You're talking about, state taking over and that.
Yeah.
What criteria does the state use to take over a school? Is it based on graduation rate or this standardized testing?
You know what? I believe it's a little of both. And the reason I say that, Steve, is because I've heard that too. I know that a lot of the schools that they originally were targeting, it was dealing with graduation. They kind of used that as kind of like catch. Well, we got our eye on you. We can tell you got some low numbers, so we're going to look into it. And once they kind of looked into it, they're like, well, your standardized testing score sucks, so that's why.
Hello.
Hello, you're on the air.
Oh, hi. I just wanted to respond to the comments that were made earlier.
Sure, go right ahead.
I agree with a lot of things that you have said and your previous caller.
Mm-hmm.
But in all fairness, I wanted to talk about the article that I've read as well.
Sure.
And
go right ahead.
I just wanted to say that I think that the leaders in Hammond, and of course that includes the school board, I feel like lately there's a lot of political favors going on, and I think they've lost focus of what the vision of the school is, and that's to put the students first.
There you go. And that's the root of it.
So that Carmen McCollum, I've read many, many articles that she's been writing about Gary as well as Hammond and other areas, but I feel like she really paints the minority school districts out to look very bad, and you can't always blame the students and the teachers that go into education, and I do feel terrible for those teachers that may possibly be laid off, but they go in with a vocation, and we know, and even if you go into a urban area, not all students are going to be perfect, but
no.
As an educator myself, we know that you never give up on the students, and you don't just blame the parents, and you don't just blame the educators either. It's there's many reasons that children don't do well. In Hammond in particular, it's my belief that that since Hammond is so close to Illinois, you have a lot of the Illinois children coming over with some deficits,
That's a very, good point.
Yes, they have some weaknesses, and I've studied the standards. I've done research on the Indiana standards and the Illinois standards, and it was printed in the article, AFT article, that indeed Indiana standards are among the highest in the country. I believe they ranked second place, and Illinois standards were the weakest standards in the country. And that has a lot to do with it, especially when children come over to northwest Indiana from those areas. Not that I blame the parents, but maybe they haven't had the strongest, they haven't been maybe, I guess, taught those rigorous standards, for example, like the ones we have in Indiana.
Right, of course.
And I just sometimes feel bad for the children and the families that they're sometimes seen as they don't care. I don't believe that they don't care because, and even though not all parents show up to every, the caller mentioned the
parent-teacher meetings,
parent-teacher conferences. Sometimes parents aren't always there, but they are supportive in their own ways at home. But I think when you're working in urban areas, you have to take different approaches to teaching, and those approaches need to be, the leaders need to ask the teachers to try these approaches that work with urban kids, tend to learn a little differently, and we have to, everything has to be research-based, but in Hammond, the politics and the handshake, the politics have to stop. In other words, let's put people that truly care there, and let's make decisions because it's the right decisions for our schools, for our children.